Hi, my name is Trandy Cam, and this is how to remove manure and wet areas from your horse's stall. So first, you get your pick and your manure bucket, and you make sure that you set it about 15 yards away from your horse, where your horse is kept. Then you let your horse go into the pasture, and you close the door behind him so that he won't escape in. Then, once you're sure that your horse won't get back into the stall unless you let him, then you start gently picking up the manure with your pitchfork, and sometimes you can take your, not your leather boot, but a special manure boot, but please make sure that you wash your boot afterwards. So you just guide the manure onto the fork, and then you put it into the manure bucket, and if there's any dry spots, you can fix that up too. And then you go on to the next piece of poo. And you keep on doing this until you are all done. And then once you're all done, you bring your manure bucket out and hang your pitchfork up, and then it is safe to let your horse back into the stall. And then you have a clean stall, and make sure you put the gate back closed, and to remove wet areas, you just find a wet area and you scoop it up in your pitchfork and put it in there, and you can dump all the things out at least 15 yards away where your horse is kept, and then you can fill it up with fresh shavings, or the kind of bedding that is used in your area. And the kind of bedding that is used in our area is there's straw, and the absorbency is 1 through 5. 1 is low and 5 is very high. So straw would be a 3 absorbency. It does have dust, but it's not easy to clean up, but it is inexpensive. So there's all kinds of things that sew here on bedding, and there's even underbedding. Like there's rubber matting, and it drains well. Yes, it's a number 5. It doesn't have dust. It's easy to clean up, but it is expensive. So you can go ahead and look at that. And then you should have your tack room should be nice and tidy and very safe and away from...
Question.
Yeah.
Is there something that you should do to the stall that's going to help your horse?
Do a safety check. Oh, you can make sure...
Something that has to do with the way that you put down the bedding?
Oh, yeah. So another thing that you can do, you can use your pitchfork or your shovel for this job. This is called banking your bedding. So again, you would like your horse to be in the pasture and make sure you close that gate. And what you would like to do now is you get some bedding from where you need, and you take your shovel or your pick, and you just kind of bank it up against the sides. And why we do this is because your horse, if all of the savings are right in the middle and your horse tries to lay down, he can, if your horse is laying down like this, he can't get up this way because there's like a big mountain up here. And if he goes this way, then he's stuck up against the wall. So, if we bank it over here, then when your horse lays down, he can get up pretty easily and not get stuck. But please do not try that at home. Like getting your horse and picking it up and laying it down or something. And then you can spread some of the savings all around the areas that don't have any, that are sewing wood, because your horse should be comfortable enough to actually lay down in your stall. So then you want to take your bucket and put it at least 15 yards away from where your horse is kept, and hang up your shovel or your pitchfork.
Don't worry about it.
And then it is safe to bring your horse back into the stall. And here's about safe cleaning up your stall for the safety of your mount. So you should have your tack room up here, nice and tidy and well kept and away from your horse so he won't clatter any of the things that you are keeping up here, like your saddle and your blankets and your helmet, so you won't get hurt. And so, also what you'd like to do is store your grain at least a shoulder height of your horse, and so your horse can well reach it. And same thing for the water and the hay. And make sure that your hay doesn't have any brown pieces in it. That's not good for your horse. And make sure that your water and grain don't have any moldy or unhealthy pieces in it for your horse. And make sure that you don't feed, that you feed your horse grain on a regular schedule, and make sure that he is allowed water every time, except for when he is exercised. And that's it. Bye.